Have you ever said, "I'm quitting smoking tomorrow"? In the moment, you felt certain and decisive, but as the hours went by, your motivation decreased and all you could think about was smoking. And it got so intense that you ended up having a cigarette. If this has happened to you, or if this is happening to you right now, then you need to watch this video. Hi, this is Nasya Davos, and in this video, I want to share with you why your quit attempts are short-lived and what to do about it so you can succeed. And no, you don't need to have more willpower, chew nicotine gums, or escape on a 10-day retreat where you're isolated from the world and your triggers. It's something else. Keep on watching. Before we dive in, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell button so you can get notified and get more videos that will help you quit smoking. Okay, so let me tell you this. In my many attempts to quit smoking, many times I said, okay, I'm quitting smoking tomorrow, or I'm quitting smoking on Monday. And sometimes Monday comes and you find a reason to postpone it. But other times you may feel more decisive. You tell your friends and your loved ones that you're quitting smoking. You throw your cigarettes away, you crush them, flush them down the toilet, break them, give them away, and you know that this is your time. This time you're gonna push through until you don't wanna smoke anymore. But after a few hours or even after a few days, things start to change. You have triggers, you feel stress, you're agitated, tempted, annoyed by everyone and everything around you, and you're in agony because all you can think about is smoking. You simply don't know how to cope in that moment. So you start looking for a cigarette. Anything will do, you just need a puff. You even go through your trash to find a half-smoked cigarette that might be there. Don't laugh, most of us have done this. So eventually you smoke, and after the first 2-3 puffs, you start feeling horrible. You feel powerless, out of control and hopeless. You feel that you're never gonna do it. And there is a reason your attempt was short-lived, and it has nothing to do with who you are or what you're capable of. There are actually 3 reasons. The first reason is that you didn't prepare. You didn't prepare enough, or you didn't prepare at all. Quitting smoking does not start by quitting smoking. This is a principle of the CBQ method. See, most people think that their quit attempt begins on their quit date and that after their quit date, they just have to figure out how to cope with life without cigarettes. No, quitting smoking does not start by quitting smoking. It starts by preparing. Would you go on vacation without checking the place first and packing a suitcase? No. Would you give the most important exams of your life or the most important interview of your life without preparing first? Of course not, if you want to succeed. Or would you run a marathon before training and preparing? Of course not. Why? Because you cannot do it without preparation. So how are you supposed to quit smoking, to achieve one of the most important things of your life without any preparation? It doesn't happen. The success is in the preparation. It's in what happens before your quit date, on what leads up to the moment where you smoke your last cigarette. For example, if you quit without preparing, then life will happen. You're gonna feel stressed, you're gonna be in an argument, you're gonna have too many drinks, and in that moment, you're gonna crave a cigarette. And that's normal. That's part of the adjustment and the healing process. But if you're not prepared, in that moment, it's going to be impossible to get creative and think of a way to cope because simply your mind is too focused on the cigarette. But however, if you're prepared and you have anticipated for those situations and you have a go-to solution, you're more likely to apply it and cope and succeed. Now, if you want some ideas about how to cope with cravings, check the links in the description. So preparation is very important. And like the famous quote says, by failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail. So prepare before your quit date because this makes quitting easy. Now, how do you prepare? Well, for starters, you need a coping plan with the specifics. You need to know your triggers and how to face them. You need to plan everything though before your quit date. If you're afraid or worried about gaining weight, you need to plan what you're gonna eat for the next 4 weeks after your quit date. But you need to plan everything before. Plan how you're gonna spend your time, how you're gonna relax, what you're gonna say or remember or do when cigarettes come to mind. But you don't just need a coping plan for the specifics, you also need an overarching plan, a map, an overview of your whole journey from start to finish. So if you want a great overview, a great plan, make sure you get the foundational video of the CBQ method. The CBQ method has 4 quit smoking stages, and these 4 stages take you from a smoker to a happy non-smoker. So in this video, I show you how your quit smoking journey looks like from stage 1 to stage 4 and how the stages work together. So get this, it's a great overview. Now, the second reason why you failed before has to do with your self-talk. Your success in quitting smoking depends on how you communicate with yourself. What is your self-talk? When you are addicted to something, nicotine or any addiction, it's almost like there are 2 parts of you. There is you, and there is the craving mind. And I like to think of the craving mind as this ugly creature, this golem from Lord of the Rings that's needy and demanding, and all it wants is its precious fix. And the craving mind communicates to you in the form of a thought. Thoughts like, you need a cigarette, I'd really like one now, you're missing out, or this bad thing will happen if you don't smoke. Cravings are positive thoughts about smoking, and that's another principle of the CBQ method. You want to smoke because you think about it in a positive way. You think that it's going to offer you something in that moment. And the words we use to speak to ourselves are everything. What you think in your mind becomes your reality. It becomes your reality inside, and then it becomes your reality on the outside. How? The words you use create your thoughts. Your thoughts affect your emotions, and your emotions affect your behaviors. If you say, I failed, or I'm a failure, you're gonna feel like a failure, and you're gonna behave accordingly. You're gonna relapse, you're gonna smoke. If you say, I need a cigarette, you're gonna feel like smoking, and you're gonna behave accordingly. You're gonna smoke. Instead, if when a craving thought comes to mind, you say, hey, this is supposed to happen. Craving means I'm killing the addiction. How you're gonna feel? Empowered, and you're gonna be smoke-free. Or if instead of I need a cigarette, you say I need air. If you replace the word cigarette with the word air, you're gonna feel like breathing, and then you're gonna breathe air, not smoke. So that your self-talk affects your behavior, and this includes the questions you ask yourself. Our brain is like Google. Whatever you ask it, it's going to give you a list of results, a list of answers. If you ask yourself, why can't I quit? Your brain is going to give you a list of reasons why. If you ask yourself, why is it so hard? Your brain is going to tell you why. If you tell yourself, I'll never do it, your brain is going to say you're right. And this self-talk is bringing you down. It's making you fail. So now start asking yourself different questions, especially questions that start with how. When you ask yourself, how can I do this? How can I think of that? You open your mind to endless possibilities. For example, ask yourself, how can I enjoy myself today? How can I make this easy for me? How can I experience this situation as a happy non-smoker? And when you ask yourself how, your brain is going to give you a list of ideas. So your self-talk can be your biggest ally. So use it wisely. It's yours. And now the third reason why you failed before and your attempt was short-lived is because you saw nicotine as the solution. Nicotine at the moment, you use it because you believe that it helps you with something, that it helps you relax, cope with boredom, socialize, or control your weight. You find some benefits in smoking, and that's why you crave it. Of course, smoking offers you nothing, but you believe it does, and this is the product of massive brainwashing that we've been imposed to as society, peer pressure, and all these ads that have been ingrained in our collective consciousness. And on top of that, it's the nature of the addiction itself. So because of those reasons, we forget to see that nicotine is the problem, not the solution. And that's another principle of the CBQ method. We forget to take a step back and see how it all started. What do I mean? You were not worried that you're gonna be bored without cigarettes before you became a smoker. You were not worried you're gonna be stressed out without cigarettes before you became a smoker. Your problem started when you became a smoker. And if you were too young to remember how you were before you started smoking, I want you to understand that even now, smoking is the problem, not the solution. Smoking helps you relax after it stresses you out because cravings cause mental and physical tension. And of course, the worry about how smoking is harming your health causes you anxiety, and all this goes away the minute you quit smoking. Or smoking helps you cope with boredom after it drains your energy to do things and makes you feel lethargic and bored. Smoking helps you stay thin after it messes up your metabolism. It helps you socialize after it isolates you from most people. It helps you concentrate after it distracts you because craving thoughts pop up and break your concentration. So as you can see, this is a vicious cycle, and we see the end, not the beginning. We see the solution, not the problem, and it will all go back to normal. All you need to do is stop. And I understand that escaping this vicious cycle may seem scary because it's the fear of the unknown, but it is the known you should be afraid of because you're stuck repeating the same pattern just to feed your body with nicotine. And that's why nicotine substitutes don't help, because they make you feel that nicotine is important. Now, is this kind of thinking going to change overnight? Are you gonna wake up tomorrow and start seeing nicotine as the problem, not the solution? I hope so, but probably not, and that's okay. But you need to start reminding yourself everything you learn. Observe your behavior, your thoughts, and other smokers. Research and stay alert so it can eventually change. I promise you it's going to be worth it. So to sum up, if you failed before, it's because you didn't prepare enough or you didn't prepare at all. It's because your self-talk was working against you, and it's because you saw nicotine as the solution. So to succeed this time, you need to prepare the specifics and your whole journey. You need to use your self-talk to your advantage, and you need to start seeing the nicotine as the problem, not the solution. And these three, like we said, are principles that come from the CBQ method, and they all have to do with the mental addiction. The CBQ method is a 4-stage method based on psychology that helps you overcome the mental dependence, which is what makes quitting seem hard and what can make it easy. So if you want to learn more about the CBQ method and start planning your journey, make sure you watch the foundational video of the CBQ method. I added the link for you in the description. In this video, I show you what are the 4 stages of the CBQ and how they work together to help you break the mental addiction. I give you one tip to get started with each stage, and this video is going to help you start thinking of your quit differently, and it's going to give you a great overview of your whole journey. And we talked about how important preparation is, and it all starts with a strong foundation, so watch the foundational video. Also, please share this video with someone who's failing to quit so that they will know that they are not alone and there are always things they can do to turn things around and succeed. And leave a comment below and let me know which of the 3 principles would be the most useful to you, and subscribe to this channel to get more videos that will help you on your journey. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.